Hello everyone. I hope all of you are doing well and your study is also going very well. So today we are end up with this chapter with this topic, that is the fruit formation and some special mechanism like apomixis, parthenocarpy and polyembryony. So that we will discuss in this video. As you know from your previous videos, we are done with the pre-fertilization events, fertilization event and the post-fertilization events. In that post-fertilization events, we have discussed about the development of the endosperm, development of the embryo, and then after that there is a type of seed also we have discussed. Now point is this: when we are talking about the seeds are present where? It is present inside the fruit. Now how the fruit formation take place, that we will see in this video, and what type of fruits actually is in your syllabus, that we will see. And there is a special type of fruit that we call as a parthenocarpic fruit, that we discuss in this video. Fruit. So fruit is what? Fruit is actually, you can say, a ripened ovary that we call as a fruit. Fruit is formed after fertilization as a result of cell division and differentiation in the ovary. So basically ovary will change into the fruit. If we see the wall of the ovary, that will develop into the fruit wall, and we especially call that as a pericarp. So that is the number of time we asked in a 1 mark question. So what is pericarp? Pericarp is the fruit ovary wall that will change into the fruit wall, and we call it as a pericarp. It may be fleshy, for example, guava, tomato, cucumber, and it may be leathery and dry also, that for example if you see the pea, bean and mustard, so in that case pericarp is the dry condition, in a dry condition. So this is the basic structure. If we talk about the fruit, it is having a three layers, that is the exocarp, or you can say epicarp, mesocarp and the endocarp. So these are the three layers you can see over here. This is the fifth, sixth and seventh. Inner one is the endocarp, middle is a mesocarp, and outer one is the epicarp or the exocarp. Combinedly we call these layers as a pericarp. Fruits contain a large number of seed. You know very well, seed is what? Seed is a ovule. It will change into embryo, will change into the seed. So embryo is where? Embryo is present in the ovule. So now what is there? If we talk about the seeds are a very large number also. For example, there is a thousands of tiny seeds present in orchid fruits, Orabanki and Striga. Striga is one of the parasitic species. So I am mentioning these three names for your board exam also. It is very important. In that case, if we talk about the thousands of seeds present in a fruit, so in that case examples, very common example is the orchid fruits, Orobanki and the Striga. Striga is a parasitic species, and one of more important in case of thousands of tiny seed, that is a ficus. So these are the few examples. Along with that, if you see the structure of the fruit is having a, you can see it is having an endosperm. Endosperm is where it is present in the embryo, and this structure basically present in the ovule. So ovule is actually a seed, and it is covered by a seed coat. So seed is the fourth one that I am showing over here, and the seed coat, that is a covering, right? So this is the structure basically of the seed. If you talk about the significance of the fruit, so what is the significance of the fruit? Fruit especially protect the seed from the mechanical injury or the unfavorable condition that happens in the environment. So in that case seed is protected by the fruit. Fruits help in the dispersal of seed also for the long distance. So that is also one of the important point for the significance. If we talk about the as a food, so in that case fleshy fruit provide food to the animals who act as a dispersal agent of their seed also. So that is also one of the important thing. As a significance, fruit also provide nutrition to its own developing seedlings and also consumed by humans. So that is also one of the important significance of the fruit. So if we talk about the important source for humans, so humans are using these fruits as a food. Organic acid we are taking from that, vitamins we are obtaining, minerals we are obtaining, proteins we are obtaining, oil and sugars we are taking from the fruit. So fruit is very important for human also. So this is the significance of the fruits. If we talk about the type of fruit, so again on the basis of formation of fruit, you know very well fruit is formed by what, by the ripened ovary, means when ovary is going to be mature it will change into the fruit. So is there any other part of the flower participate in the formation of fruit? So on the basis of that, fruits are different type. So two different type of fruits that is in your syllabus also, that is what on the basis of formation of fruit. As I told you, there are two type of fruits. One is known as the true fruits and one is the false fruits. So what is the difference if we talk about the true fruits? So the true fruits actually derive from ovary of a flower but not associated with any non-carpellary part. It means just a carpel, or you can say ovary, participate in the formation of a fruit. That time it is known as the true fruits. Very common example that, as a grape, tomato, mango. So and in that case what happens after the fertilization, other floral part, for example calyx, corolla, stamen, these things is going to degenerate and fall off. So this is the true fruits. If we talk about the false fruit, in that case the fruit obtained or derived from ovary along with other accessory floral parts like thalamus in case of apple. So in that case these type of fruits are known as a false fruit. Very common example is apple, cashew nut, strawberry. These are the few example of the false fruit. So on the basis of that, fruits are different type. There is another category, another type of fruit also we call that as, that is the parthenocarpic fruits. What are the parthenocarpic fruits? Some fruits that develop without undergoing fertilization, that are known as the parthenocarpic fruits. For example banana. And the process of formation of these fruits without fertilization is known as parthenocarpy. And if we want to do it, it can be induced through the application of a growth hormone. And such seeds are especially such fruits, actually these kind of fruits are the seedless fruit. So parthenocarpic fruit that are obtained from without fertilization are actually a seedless fruit. So these are the different type of fruits that we were discussed over here. So this is the difference between the true fruit and the false fruit that I am trying to show by this tabular form. This is what, when false fruit, that fools obtained from any other part along with the ovary, any other floral part along with the ovary, that is a false fruit. True fruit means as a result of fertilization where the ovary is changed into fruit, so that is a true fruit. Fertilization process, obviously it is not involved in false fruit, it is involved in case of false fruit. Other part is also participate in the formation of fruits such as a thalamus, peduncles, perianth. So these are the part that involve in this case true fruit, just a ovary. Example, as I told you, apple, pears, jackfruit, pineapple, strawberry. In this case, mango, tomato, kiwi, watermelon, cherries. These are the example of the true fruits. Now there is a diagram again. There is a difference between the true fruit and false fruit. If you see the diagram, so what is that? Apicarp, mesocarp, endocarp. Together we call as a pericarp. And inside that there is a presence of a seed, and seed is covered by a double layer seed coat. So this is the true fruit. If we talk about the false fruit, as you can see over here, that is what seed is covered by pericarp, and along with that the part that we are eating, that is the fleshy thalamus. It means in the formation of a apple, thalamus also participate for the formation of fruit, and along with that the calyx part of the flower is also attached in the at the base of the apple. So that's why apple comes in a category of false fruit. So what is parthenocarpy? As I told you, when the fruits develop without the fertilization, that type of fruits are known as the parthenocarpic fruit, and the process is known as the parthenocarpy. So the definition you can write in this way: the condition in which fruits are developed without the formation of seed, that is mainly due to the absence of fertilization, pollination, embryos. In that case, fruits are known as the parthenocarpic fruit. So if you see this diagram, in that case you can differentiate between the formation of a fruit with fertilization and formation of fruit without fertilization. So if you see these two diagrams, tomatoes, in that one case there is no seed formation, means seedless tomato, and one is the seeded plant. So this is done by the normal fertilization, this comes out with the without fertilization. So this is the difference between the parthenocarpic fruit and the regular fruit. Another type of mechanism that happens in the flowering plant is the apomixis. So what is apomixis? If we talk about the apomixis, it is a form of asexual reproduction that mimics sexual reproduction and produce seeds without fertilization. So what is the difference? If I say, so in case of parthenocarpy, there is a seedless fruit formed without fertilization, but in case of apomixis there is a form of seeded fruits formed without fertilization. So this is the biggest difference between the parthenocarpic and apomixis, or you can say parthenocarpy or apomixis. It is a, again I repeat, what is apomixis? It is a form of asexual reproduction, and that mimics sexual reproduction and produces seeds without fertilization. It means it doesn't involve formation of zygote through the gametic fusion, and it this type of processes actually take place in a some species of asteraceae and grasses. Very common example, if you see about the apomixis, is very common in roses and oranges. So these are the example of apomixis. And if we talk about the apomixis seeds, so they are viable seeds produced without pollination or sexual reproduction. So these are produced from, it can be actually, it can be produced from the segment of fruits, for example mango stem, and it can be formed by the male gamete content of the pollen in case of cypress and other vegetative part. So what I am trying to say, a mode of actually a sexual reproduction. So in that case, it is a it comes in a category of asexual mode. In some species, what happens, children, in a very rare, you can say in a very extreme condition, what happens, the diploid egg cell is formed without reduction division. You know very well, when the egg cell are formed, there is a reduction and the ploidy will change into just half. So but in some cases or some species, what happened, the diploid egg cell is formed without reduction division and develop into embryo without fertilization. So again, it is an asexual reproduction in the absence of pollinators and take place in extreme conditions. So this is also a type of apomixis. And where we are using this technique, so this technique is very much used in a hybrid seed industry. You know, as a production of hybrid seed, you know very well, it is very costly. So if hybrids is or you can say if hybrids are made in a apometic, so there is a no segregation of characters, right? Because as I told you, what is a diploid cell is going to be changed into a new one. So there is a no segregation of the character, and the farmers need not to buy hybrid seed year after year. They can use apometic seed to raise new variety every year. So most important use of the apomixis is where in the hybrid seed industry. Along with that, here I have shown you the difference between the apomixis and parthenocarpy. Now you can correlate it very easily, what is the difference between the apomixis and parthenocarpy. Organism is what? That is a polyembryony. So what is polyembryony? Polyembryony is a, you can say there is a formation of a more than one embryo from a single fertilized ovum. Means when there is a formation of a zygote, there is a cleavage or breaking of the zygote and the formation of a more than one embryo from a single embryo. So that process is known as a polyembryony. Especially it take place in some species of citrus, that is orange and lemon, onion, groundnut, mango. These are the few varieties where polyembryony take place. In gymnosperm, polyembryony can occur due to the cleavage of growing embryo. In gymnosperm is also it is very common. Here if you see the difference between the apomixis and polyembryony, you can see it very clearly. Apomixis, as I told you, it is a asexual reproduction. Polyembryony is completely a type of sexual reproduction. Fertilization does not occur in apomixis, but here definitely, because formation of an embryo, so fertilization take place. It does not involve in the production of seed. It involves in the production of seed of spring plant, because fertilization is not there. It's a asexual mode. So genetically the plants or parents or coming generations are identical. But in case of polyembryony, offspring plants are not genetically identical to the parents. So these are the difference between the apomixis and polyembryony. So here we are end up with this chapter. All the topics as per my knowledge I have covered that, and if something is left we can discuss over the another video, or you can call me, and next time we will meet with the another chapter, that is the reproduction in human beings. Thank you, children.